We're in Crouch in Boise County, and I'm here with.
Kyler Smith.
And have you noticed any changes in the climate over the course of your lifetime living here?
Well, last summer, or in a couple winters ago, it was really snowy, and I've noticed that in the last couple of springs, it took a lot less time for all the snow to melt down. I actually did a project called Future Cities this year, and we won state and went to D.C.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so I learned a lot about climate change, and like this summer, you could just like tell that it's been raining a lot more in June than usually last year and like all the other years. So it's just a lot more different than what we're used to. And winter actually lasted super long this year. Like, we have an ice skating rink in our backyard, and so we ice skated for 4.5 months.
Wow.
This year.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah.
Do you think climate change has impacted you and your family and the folks living here at all?
Not too much. Maybe like a little more taxes on the snowplow, but up here it's not as much of a change, because like if you look at a map on the most affected places in the world on climate change, North America almost has no climate change, and it's a lot of it's in like Australia and Africa and all those other.
Did you first learn about climate change doing this Future Cities project, or when did you first hear about it?
I heard about it a little bit before, but during the Future Cities I really learned a lot more, and like we learned like so we had to make a city of the future, and then we learned how to mitigate and like adapt to climate change almost. So yeah, it was super fun.
How do you think your perspectives on climate change have changed since you first heard about it?
Well, I used to think climate change was like a super big deal, but if you look at the past like millions and millions of years, climate change is almost like a natural thing. I think more than like humans, because like we had 2 ice ages, and that was like all natural. So
Right, but it caused like 2 extinctions.
Yeah.
How old are you?
11 years old, or sorry, 12 years old.
12 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think there's anything we can do about climate change?
Definitely adapt, and like if you just see a piece of trash on the road, just pick it up. It's not really that big of a deal. Take like 10 seconds.
How does that help climate change?
It helps. So plastic really has a lot of like bad stuff in it, and if that gets into the earth's soil, it kind of can ruin it, or into the waters, which evaporates and then rains down, and is not very good.
And you said we could adapt to climate change. How do you think we can do that?
Adapting, well, we just need to make like better living conditions. I think as climate change goes on, it's going to get a little bit harder. So like clothing, maybe we'll have to adapt, and then a lot of other things like that. Maybe housing for like air conditioning, or
And one thing climate scientists are saying is that here in Idaho, as it gets hotter and drier in the summers, we're seeing more frequent and larger wildfires. Is that something that's affecting folks here in Crouch?
Yeah. Well, I actually have a friend that like gets pretty scared. Last year we had a fire about 15 miles away from our house, and
that's so scary.
Yeah, wildfire.
Did you have to evacuate?
No. They got to it and built a barrier. And like for controlled burns, it's a lot easier for the firefighters to keep those like intact, but that was pretty scary for our neighborhood.
So how do those fires and stuff affect the folks living here?
It's more of like a fear thing, and also like smoke. That's a really bad thing up here. Like,
what does that do to you?
It's just harder to go outside, and like you can't see very well, and like it's not very fun to be outside when there's a bunch of smoke in the air and it's all polluted.
Cool. Do you have anything else you want to share about climate change or anything?
I don't know. I would just say help the planet. Just pick up trash, and we need to help. So.
Totally.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.